Hi everyone. So welcome to today's episode on Tech with Hero. I don't know. Can you hear me? Just a minute. Hi, Ayo, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you. My
Okay.
host, Hiro Molala, always looking beautiful with a big smile. And we're so glad to be doing this with you today. So you're not alone. Don't worry. I got you. So if you're watching us right now, um, I just want you to know that you are in for a great time because we'll be having someone special. We'll be having you know, someone very very interesting, which is Ogaga John, and he'll be sharing a lot of things with us from his wealth of experience. And if you follow him well, especially if you are a very good follower of him, you will see how much he do share, amazing content to designers on every of his platform. And yeah, you are in for a great time this time around too, because we'll be having him join us, and we'll be having exciting time with him, and I can't really wait to have him join us. So we are waiting for him to join right now. So while we are waiting, you want to share this live video with your friends. Want to quickly share it to your people, your enemies. Just share it. Just share it with everybody that you can actually share it with, on Instagram, share it on WhatsApp, share it to your friends so they can join, and you don't have to enjoy this alone, because this is something we've prepared, we've cooked, we've prepared, and we are going to be dishing it out today to all designers out there. So we have been having struggles with your confidence and your design journey. This is one of the things that will help you to boost that confidence. As a designer, I know what it means, how it feels, to design without confidence, or to design not really confidently about confident enough with what you are designing. So we hope that Omega John will be able to have a lot of expectations. So I hope that Omega John is going to be able to share a lot of interesting tips that will help you. I'll also be learning, and I have Hero too. She'll also be here learning with us. So we are not alone. We are not alone. So we are all here together to learn how to design confidently. You know, how to design confidently. You don't want to miss this. So pick one, share it with your people. Oga John is already preparing to be here. So yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Gaga. Hi, Gaga.
I think I like the Gaga more.
Oh, hi, Gigi. Hi, you.
Hi
Okay,
Fine.
I
Gaga.
think
How you
Let
you
doing?
me
need to
say
put
that
up
again.
your.
Hi Gaga.
Oh, we can see you now.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, welcome to Tech with Eros podcast. And we
Mm-hmm.
are really happy to have you here to share some design experience and also insights with other designers so they can learn and also improve their skills better. So thank you
Yeah.
once again for joining.
Thank you for having me. It's
Um,
an honor.
yeah, and Ayo is my host, co-host here. So we are just
Hi,
going to be
Aya.
doing this together with you, right? And the good part of it is Ayo is also like in the design space, so you'd it actually understand you better when you're having the conversation. Okay,
Yeah, very
so
good.
today's topic, right, designing with confidence for beginners. So it already gives this information that beginners kind of have like this fear or something holding them back from doing their best. Their confidence level is not really that strong enough. So that's why we're having you to help boost the confidence level of beginners. So before we dive deep into the main deal for today, would you want to like give brief introduction about Gaga and Gaga Designs, and let us know you, and we can get started from there.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you. Again, thank you, co-host Ayo and Nkechi for having me here. I do hope you guys have like this all time to having me here too as well. So quick introduction. So first of all, can you guys hear me? I just want to be sure that I'm audible and I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, just to give you an introduction about myself. This is like the toughest question asked anytime, any place, anywhere. So, I mean, I'll start with my typical name. My name is Gaga John. Gaga is my first name. John is actually my
Wow.
last name, yes. And in case you're wondering, Gaga is not my nickname, it's actually my native name. Uh,
Wow.
Other than that, for work, I work as a product designer. Outside of work, which is where my introduction most likely lie, I am a lover of food and anime, and I also like to spend my quality time sleeping. So yes, other
Since
than that,
since there's a thing with
Go
design and
food.
food.
yes, is
The
needed
food
is
is
needed.
important. It's needed.
Exactly. Then, other than that, I love having wine with friends. I
Mm.
also do enjoy reading books occasionally, and then finally, I sometimes identify myself as a low key gym bro. So I sometimes be happening to be in the gym here and there just to keep body and feet fine. But yeah, that's pretty much about me. Other than that, yes, big old introvert. I'm always indoors. I think I went out of the house this week like twice, just twice the entire
Wow.
week. So I'll do better next time. But yeah,
It's like I'm
um,
doing
Mm,
not taking this gym thing seriously. Even on Molala, I started gymming. I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I'm
lovely.
fit.
We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you.
uh,
Okay, thank you for that introduction, Gaga. I'm
Hmm.
sure the listeners already have like a view of who they want to like get a lot of information from. So straight to the topic, designing with confidence for beginners. This topic, how does like, when we agreed on doing this topic, what came to mind, or what are you like ready to give out to the listeners basically? What aspect have you seen in design space for the beginners that you feel needs to be like treated?
I was talking about based on the topic
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Based on the topic, yeah, based on the topic.
If I understand correctly, I would say it's a mindset thing. It's a really big mindset thing. It's what you know how they say, as the heart thinketh, so it is, or so he is, or something. Or as a man thinketh,
Give
so
us the
he is.
words. Okay.
So kind of like it's a mindset thing, like the entire confidence thing. It's a mindset thing. Yes, skills is important, but it's all up in your head. So if you can you know think it, believe it, and then most likely you get to the point where like you can actually now see that yes, I'm actually doing this thing right. But yes, as you dive in, I will most likely share like a more clear picture as to like how I'm really thinking about this and how I've also been able to do things that helped me boost and improve my own confidence, or rather confidence. Yeah.
Okay, so take you back to when you started design.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how was the journey like for you? How was the entire journey like? And up until now, how has been the journey so far?
So, are we looking for a quick version or looking for a 4 seasons episode by episode version?
Please, quick version. Let's just take you back. So we will take you back so that you can actually be on the same level with the beginners and let them get to know that okay, the Ogaga John that everybody's looking at now that they want to be like
Yeah.
Ogaga John. This was Ogaga John.
Somebody wants to be like me.
A lot of really, you're a mentor
that's
to a lot of people, you
No,
know.
that's
So,
crazy. That's
are
absolutely
you
you're,
sure?
crazy.
are you shocked?
I'm shocked.
Is
I'm
that you?
shocked. You shocked
This
me.
my this my guest is funny. See, somebody wants to be like,
Somebody wants
are
to
you not somebody that they should be like? You're someone to be like
be.
now, you know.
that's
Well,
that's
well,
that's absolutely.
let's streamline it to design aspects. Maybe that will be clearer, you
It's too
know.
funny.
And you can share
You
this version
shocked me.
to be like you too.
You see, shocked me. Okay, that's right. That's right. So
Okay.
yes, I think I laughed away your question that you asked me. Could you ask me again?
More like taking you
Okay,
back
yes,
to when you
taking me
just
back.
started
Yes, 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 yes.
design. Yeah.
Okay, so the quick. That's a very good question. It's been a while I thought about like
The
how it
journey.
started like from the very beginning. So quick version here. It was the design was a thing from interest basically. It was just an interest thing. I've always loved art, but due to artists don't really have a thing to do that is financially buoyant or whatnot, so I abandoned it. And then I later discovered that there was a thing called design, and what you could do is that you could do art, but digitally. So I'm like, okay, great. I think I found the middle ground of something I can do to pass time, leisure time, and everything. I learned I learned graphic design. Graphic was like my very beginning aspect. Graphics, I started as a graphic designer, learned graphic design, pretty much enjoyed it. And now how does it tie into like the whole building confidence and everything? So learning the skill is one thing, practicing is another thing, mastering is another
Sure.
thing, and then being confident is another thing. So there's like a whole 4 step level into it. But the truth about it that there's no rush. Yeah, so first off, we should all just get away that idea of you're being chased or there's rush. And I'm talking to myself too because I be too sometimes getting all up in my head thinking that I'm not really there yet or doing enough. So it's a general thing to whosoever is listening or watching. As much as you feel not confident sometimes, a lot of us sometimes in certain situations we kind of feel like we're not so confident. So we all can relate in what you're talking about. And so for me, it was kind of like the first step for me was like, let me really get good at what I'm doing. Let me just block out the noise, which there was a lot of noise at then, and now there's even a lot more noise. So you need to do the most conscious effort. So what I did was at the time I was not so very active on social media, so I just stayed that way. And even now, sometimes I take out days where I do not interact with social media. Like I'm not there. I'm not there, so I don't get disturbed by the noise and
Distracted.
get distracted. So I just focus on what I'm doing. So my first phase was kind of like learn the skill, get good at it. And how did I get good at it? I either would give myself personal challenges, or I would meet friends who need design and I will offer to design for them. No fee, no charge, that kind of thing. I had a friend who was building out her business and I offered to do a brand identity for her, do flyers for her and everything, just so that I could see myself doing something for somebody. And that was like a better way to make myself accountable. I tried the challenges on, it worked sometimes, it didn't work, but when I was doing it for somebody, I was more serious. So that was like a way for me to like, really get it done. Now doing that, there was a room for me to fail and then improve. Next thing I also was doing was that I was also looking at people's work that I liked. Now I hear a lot of people talking about seeing people's work that are incredible and they feel demotivated or they feel like when am I going to get there? That wasn't the case for me, and I feel like we need to start looking at these things differently. When you see somebody ahead of you, rather than feeling down about yourself, I don't know, I see it as a sense of motivation. Like if somebody can get there, I too can get there, or I will get there. So it's like a mentality, like I said, it's a
True.
whole mentality thing. Anytime I see somebody ahead of me, in fact, I intentionally find people ahead of me, and I make sure I, hover around their space, hover around their social media, see whatever they're doing, all just to let me know that it is possible. Because if somebody else has done it, I can also do it. And the truth about it is that whichever person, anybody you find, any inspiration you find that is there at the top level right now, there was once a time that they were low too. So if they can get to 100 and you are like number one, you can also get to 100 too, because they also walked away from one to 100. So that's how I see these things. So that was like my source of motivation. Other people are doing it, I can do it, gaga. So this was like my source of drive. Then the next phase was to master my skill. Now, mastering my skill also was very similar to practicing my skill. But now what I was doing was that I was trying to make my work look like those of the people that I was looking to be like, or be perceived like. So I rather than say be like, I'll say perceive. I want you to understand that perception is a very big deal. So how you perceive somebody is very, very important, even if they're not exactly like that. For example, now, host Nkichi, you probably have a perception about me, when you sent me that, message and we had, conversation and the likes.
Yeah.
Ayo, before this call,
Yeah.
you probably had a perception about me. So now your perception about me is what makes me me, in a sense. How I think about myself to you guys does not matter. So no matter how
True.
I feel like, oh, I probably know I'm not the kind of person you think I am. It doesn't matter. Your perception is it stands, and that's what they call branding. Branding in the sense
True.
basically just means how you perceive brands. Whatever the brand is what it is. So it's like the brand now is left to match what you perceive about them. So that's pretty much what I did. I wanted to have a perception like the people I wanted to be like. How can I do that? Well, the way I could do that was to find the kind of work that they did and try to imitate the kind of work that they did. Because if you looked at their work and you found their work to be very good, very high quality, very inspirational, very magnificent, if I could imitate a work like theirs and almost come out with a similar result, anybody who sees that work will most likely have the similar perception they had of the work I imitated. So that was what I was doing. So I would, for design now, I'll just go straight to design. For design, for practice, I would pick up their work and try to replicate something like that. I'll pick up work that was way above my level, try my best to replicate that. That was how I was forcing my growth. Try my best within my archives. I think my archive right now is full, like with a lot of replicated stuff that I've been doing, trying to imitate people's work who are really, really way better than mine or on a very high level. I did that a lot, and this also helped me because situations I found myself in, jobs, in contract, I now was able to embody that feeling because I was able to, almost imitate very well of the good work I've been seeing. It made people also perceive me. It made people also perceive me as somebody who had great talent and was able to do the work very well. Now, because of that perception they have of me, I found it easier to translate my confidence into it because I'm proud of the work I did. Like I imitated this, it came out great. I could take that knowledge into my own stuff, and I'm proud of myself. And you come up to me and be like, "Oh, I like what you do. Good work. Let's work together." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm sure I can do this because in my head, I've done something even, harder than that. In my own corner, I've done something even more difficult than that. In my own corner, I've replicated someone else's work in my own corner to practice. Now I can use that idea in your, this maybe client project or this new job and the likes. So this was how my confidence was able to like gradually, gradually, gradually grow. And it was also very important for you to also understand how people perceive you too as well. So whenever I was in call, whether it's an interview or someone reaches out for me to work together, outside of trying to get us to work together, I also try to understand what made you reach out to me, what made you send me that DM, what do you like about my work. So hearing these things a lot of time boosts your confidence. It's just like going out looking all nice, smelling nice, and getting compliments. You just feel very confident.
True.
You might wear a dress that you don't really like or you're not sure, But hearing a couple of people say, "Oh, this dress looks nice on you," or "I love how this looks on you," automatically you see the dress differently. It's exactly the same dress, but your mindset towards it changes. So it's kind of like how you want to take things into here too. It's a very gradual process and a very intentional process too as well. I know you
Okay,
asked me about my
I think
backstory, but I know I rambled a lot. So I hope I was able to
yeah, but
answer your
you had mentioned something before I will take over, right? You
question.
mentioned something that kind of okay. You mentioned the aspect of the compliment thingy, right? People
Yeah.
should have a perception about you, just give you their own view of what they feel like about
Yes.
you, right? But in that case, should the designers be expectant of such? Because I feel some persons really can actually look good, smell nice, and all of that, but they still don't get compliments. Should that affect their confidence level if they don't get compliments or good feedbacks from other people? Because
Yeah.
you were just so on that feedbacks, compliments,
Yeah.
perception. So that's why I'm asking this.
Yeah, so a lot of time it first comes from yourself. So perception comes from yourself. How perception comes from yourself is, for me, is true what you're trying to imitate. So, for example, you want to do, and I'm trying to make a lot of examples outside of design, so you can also see that this applies in other different aspects of your life. Because
Okay.
confidence as a designer does not just lie in how you can design. Confidence, it's a general thing. So if you are not confident outside of design, most likely you'll not be confident in design.
In
It's a very
design.
slim
Oh, okay.
chance that you'll be confident in design and not be confident outside. They are very contradictory. So you have to be confident overall to even be confident in your design. So hence why I'm trying to make examples that are not just design specific. So an example that is not
Thank
design
you for
specific
clarity.
is, yeah. So an example for that is not design specific is, let's say, an aesthetic. Let's say fashion or interior design or something. And like, oh, I like my room to look this certain way. A lot of times what we try to do is we try to go on Pinterest to see what, aesthetics that we like, and we try to imitate that. Now imitating that, we begin to receive the kind of confidence and value that we have in our room space. Oh, this my room space looks like this. I'm happy about it. It looks good. Now, your friends might come into that room and might see the aesthetics and may not compliment it. That doesn't necessarily mean you are not happy with what you did, because first off, you did it for yourself. That's the most important thing. So you want to understand that whatever you're trying to do, you're doing it for yourself first, and you're not trying to do so that, oh, other people can notice me or other people can, know that I'm good at this and the likes. Yes, it is good that you let people know what you are good at, but it's also important that you understand that whatever improvement you're trying to do with yourself has to be because you want it for yourself first. So what that means for you being a designer and with designs is that when you design, when you practice your work, applaud yourselves for the great job you've done. Applaud yourself for the progress you've made. Set small goals. Set realistic goals. Make reward systems for yourself. Now, how do I do that? For example, I could tell myself, okay, for the next 3 days, I want to practice this. I want to practice designing this, or I want to do this challenge, or this product, or this whatever. And I can be like, okay, today, Monday, I will do X, Y, Z. And if I do X, Y, and I do not do Z, I should not feel bad about myself for not doing Z. I should appreciate and applaud myself for doing X and Y. And tomorrow, continue from where I stop. Now, I could set a reward system that on Wednesday, if I do 70% above, I would buy myself ice cream, or I would watch a movie or watch anime. Now, these are ways you can begin to feel good about yourself for doing certain things and not feeling bad for not doing the little things that you did not do. In situation where you find, okay, you are doing below 70%, and this is the way to be very accountable and to know if you are really progressing or not. If you're doing below 70%, then you know there's a problem. Now, what can you do? You need to find somebody to help you stay accountable, or find a situation that helps you stay accountable. For me, I had a problem with doing it by myself when I started, even now. So a lot of times I have to ask my friends to keep me accountable, or I have to find people who are looking to do what I'm trying to learn or practice, that it is important to them. But for me, I'm not charging them for it. So currently, I'm trying to improve myself in learning no code tools. I have learned the skill, but I need to practice it, and I'm struggling to get enough practice. So what I'm trying to do now, I'm asking my friend to help me build out the roadmap that I can follow. Second is my second way to do this is I'm trying to look for people who are trying to build, let's say, like a portfolio website or something, and then I have to do it for them. That way, I'm accountable because this is no longer me again. I am already giving my word to somebody that I'm going to do this for you, so I have to do this, and then I can set reward systems for myself, and then obviously I'll get feedback from them on what I'm doing and the likes, and I can use all that to practice and the likes. So it's a very full circle thing to really get to that point of like really being confident. And confidence as a whole is just as a result of seeing the number of small wins you can stack for yourself. Another thing you could do, which is a habit I'm trying to learn myself, is every day you can write a minimum of one thing that you did well that day, design wise. It could be, oh, I finally learned how to do my buttons right. Or, I know I did this. It could be a small win. So the stacks of little small win makes a big win. And then over time, by the time you have a lot of small wins that make up big wins, you feel more confident about yourself because there's a lot of I've done this, I can do this feeling. Confidence is the I can do this feeling, even if you've not done it before, which is what courage is similarly. Courage is not that you are not afraid, is that you're afraid, but you're still going to do it either ways. So confidence is I've not done it before, or I'm not necessarily sure, but I believe I can do it. So that's kind of like the idea.
Thank you. Thank you for clarity.
Yeah.
Ayo, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Gaga, I've learned a
Okay.
lot of things from you right now, and you've really mentioned, you've touched quite a number of things that if we decide that we want to end this live session, they are enough for
As in,
beginners.
we are good to go. Okay.
You've talked more on um, building strong foundation in terms of investing in learning. We've talked more on practicing, how you practice regularly to become better, and you've mentioned quite a number of things that some of our questions you've answered them already. But then, just quick one, can you like just share a pivotal moment in your early career where you felt a significant boost in your confidence as a designer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a very brilliant question. Let me think about it. I have quite a few. So yeah, okay. Let me start from. I think I'll start from like maybe the first one for me. It might sound very silly, but it was kind of like a very important moment for me, and it also just highlights
Okay.
the importance of small wins. Me saying it now might sound very silly. So it was the first time I had my design. So I got this design gig where I was making social media posts for this real estate brand. The very first time my design that I made myself was posted on their social media. That was it for me. I felt like I
Wow.
had blown. They just posted, and I kid you know that their account had less than 1,000 followers, by the way. So it was not like a very popular brand or like no, it was just another regular real estate business out there with less than 1,000 followers, and I could see my design on their social media. I was lit. I was so happy. I felt like I was on top of the world. That also added to my confidence level. The next one was the day I was able to push past my what's it called, my earning capacity, and I charged a client something I'd never charged before. Um, and I just said it. I said it. I learned. I watched. I think that day I read how to negotiate or something, and he said something about when negotiating, and then figuring out what you really want. Say the price and don't try to explain it, and just say it and keep quiet. It was very hard for me to keep quiet and not explain, but I did. I kept quiet. I said it and I kept quiet. And there was a little bit of awkward silence, and I just kept quiet. And the next thing I heard was, "Okay, sure, that's fine. We can work with that." And I'm like, "Wow, that
What?
really happened?"
Mm,
I'm like, "Okay, okay, okay." So that also was a pivotal moment for me because I realized that everything just has to do with how you see yourself. Like how you see yourself will translate to how other people see you too as well. So I'm like, okay, that means I can be calling this amount of money now, and But I mean, the next client did not agree to the amount. That was not a bad thing, but it just made me know that okay, so the kind of people I'm looking for now are now different. So I now
Mhm.
needed to look for clients who were more like the guy that said yes, and less of people that would say no.
So,
So that also now like was like a whole different learning curve and learning path. So another pivotal moment for me. The one other one for me was I had I met somebody I call my mentor now, and it was a very interesting and funny story. So I worked with this brand. I transitioned from graphic to, I don't call it transition. I usually like call it stack. I like calling it skill stacking. So I added branding and brand identity and brand strategy to my skill stacks. And I was working on this rebrand for this company. They had been struggling with their brand identity and look and feel all for a very long time. And this mentor in particular, her brand had been trying to get the client, because she knows the client and she's trying to get the client to like rebrand, but like he's not really getting it, doesn't want to. And even when they tried, he was a very, strong on client who does not want to get change. But he was willing to accept mine, and then he was actually even fine with it. She me seeing the identity was impressed with it. I'm like, you know what, I want to meet the person who did this. And there was me who I'm a fanboy of what she does and everything. And then we had the first conversation. I was shocked that she was at first I was like, what's going to happen? Does she hit it? Because she's like a really top brand designer. And I'm like, she loves it. That's incredible. My confidence level went up, and it just made me realize that okay, it's all up in my head. My quality of work is good. There's always still room for improvement for whichever level you find yourself. But it now made me understand that imitating top level brands, because the very funny thing was that when I was trying to do the brand identity for this business, I studied a lot of her work. I read a lot of her case studies. I read a lot of other agencies' case studies and how their process work for rebrand. And I tried out there. And they could perceive me as if I was also, amongst the level. So it made me realize that yes, this is actually kind of like a really good thing. And my confidence levels went all the way up to as well. So these are kind of like different moments for me that just really made life changing moments for me and very pretty exciting for me.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Gaga. While you were trying to answer the question, you made mention of mentorship. So I think that's where I would start the next question. Has mentorship played like a big role in building your confidence level as a designer so
Uh,
far?
hmm, mentor.
Or are there designers that you can actually build your confidence level without the need of mentorship at all? And
So truthfully, truthfully,
this one
truthfully.
you're calm. This one you're calm.
I was also surprised that what's going
Abby,
on here? This
what's
calmness.
going on here?
It started with truthfully,
Okay,
truthfully.
truthfully, okay, let's
Truthfully,
hear it.
let
Let's
me be
have it.
honest.
Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it.
Let's have it.
I feel like we need to start thinking about mentors and coaching differently, and
Okay.
it needs to be 360. Is it 360 change? Yeah. So I have never, okay, not never particularly, but I have not really had an official mentor per se. Like, you know how you say mentor, and like both of you have this idea when I say the word mentor. Like, I can't I can't describe it, but you know what I mean. I've not
Like
had
the
that.
mentor knows the mentee, the
I
mentee knows
don't
the
know
mentor.
what you mean.
Yes,
I don't know what
yes.
you
I
mean.
I don't know.
Be
I know. Yeah,
explicit.
Ikechi, you know what I mean. Like you know what I mean. Mentor means the mentee, all that stuff. I've never had that. My
Okay.
mentors for me, I feel like we need to start thinking about mentors and mentorship and coaching as friendships or
Mm.
Hmm.
collaborations, friendships and collaborations, or just general relationships. So you know how you have friends, your friends. Sure, you could have relationships
Yeah.
in the line of work that you do. You might not necessarily be best friends or buddies, but you have a relationship in that line, which is fine, and that's how I want you us to start seeing mentorships and coaching. I feel like we have gone past that mentor mentee stage and all that. Yeah, it's very weird. So
Category,
yes, it's very yes, and a lot of times I don't like
it's,
being
it's, it's now
identified
looking
as a
like this
mentor.
hierarchy.
Yes, yeah,
I'm your
this
mentee.
hierarchy. I'm your mentee. I'm your
I'm your
mentor. Kind of.
mentor.
Because to be very
Yeah.
honest, we are all doing the same thing, just on different levels. Like the mentor you are with or you're trying to get also has what they're trying to aim to, where they're trying to get to. There are people they're looking up
Get
to as
to.
much as you look
Yeah.
up to them. The people
Mhm.
they're looking up to also have people they're looking up to. So it's like we're all doing the same thing. What I'm just trying to do here is just to help you get to where I am. And if you're cool, we can go to where I want to be together. So,
Together.
relationship, yeah. And if it's relationship we're talking about, I have that. And you can call it mentorship, you might not call it mentorship, but I think of it as relationship and it works better for me. Reason is because there's the stigma with mentors and mentees and not getting enough. Mentees feel like mentors don't pay enough attention to them and the likes, and sometimes some programs might be too expensive and the likes, and sometimes you might want to be closer to somebody you really look up to, but it's difficult. You're like, oh, how do I know bug them? So there's all this is difficult. So it's like, you know what, just forget about that and focus on trying to build a natural relationship with this person. Know the person, have a conversation with the person. Um, invite the person on a coffee chat if you can, or suggest to work together in the same co-workspace as you can. Ask questions freely. So I feel like the moment you have that mindset that, oh, I'm trying to build a relationship with this person, I'm not trying to, oh, this is a mentor, I want the person to mentor me. It's
Yeah.
very, yeah. Truthfully, we on this level, when we hear the word, oh, come and mentor me, we get scared.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of commitment, there's a lot of
Was
to us what that translates to is that, oh, I have to make you succeed. But truthfully, the ball is in your court. I cannot be the author of your life. All I can do is give you a couple of advices, help you answer questions if you have any, and the likes. I'm not going to be on your doorstep 247 coming to check in on you. It's not my full-time job. I have other things I'm doing. Except it's my full-time job and I'm running a mentorship program. Sure, you're paying for it. Yes, I have to make sure you're doing this. But at the same time, I really can't control every single thing. So you want to start looking at people as building relationships, forming connections, forming. So think of it as networking, basically. If you find Nkechi interesting, you like what she's doing, you want to do stuff like her, send a DM and just say hi and just chat. And you could read up things about her, find out a couple of things that she likes and they likes. And if there's something common you two like, you could have that conversation. And before you know, you could be in Nkechi's DM a couple of times, and before you know, you probably may have you want to have like a virtual chat with her over something you're working on. You like her to quickly help you look at it. Sure. After that, if she's in the same state with you, you could invite her to coffee chat or something. You've met with her, and it's just free. There's a lot of pressure of in case she can easily and anytime share anything with you. She can just call you one day. I'm like, oh, I was thinking about this and I thought about you, or let's do this together. You get? I know. For example, now it could be a collaboration thing. Maybe you have your own similar podcasting like this, and you might want to collaborate in Kichi to get something done. This is just how I think mentorship should work, because truthfully, there's sometimes mentees have some really good information that mentors could learn from. And I don't want to deprive
True.
myself of it because I think myself as a mentor
True.
and you're a mentee, you can't
True.
teach me anything, I can't learn anything from you. Who knows? Like there are situations where these so-called mentees, and again, it's a mindset thing, because once you identify yourself as a mentee, you think automatically lower than the person.
done.
People
Than the
don't want
person.
that. Yes, it rubs off your confidence a lot. You might not realize it, but it does. And what that means is that my word as a mentor holds a very strong power over you. I can tell you, oh, this is terrible. I'm just throwing words and be like, oh, this is what you did is terrible. And you might feel really bad because you hold down my word very highly. To be honest, just take it with a pinch of salt. A lot of times I could be stressed, I could have been tired, and that was the word that came to me. I might not necessarily be outrightly coming and attacking you. So it's like all these things is just, a lot of mess. So
I
let's think
So
of
at
it.
that
maybe that was why I left designs, really, because I didn't get any encouragement in designs. I had to run. I'm like, they
I
don't
get
like me here. They don't like me here.
that
I
point,
get you.
maybe the mentor has become the mentor.
anything I design is anything I design is just not good. It's just I'm like, how do you just come up with these colors? This is just what I can do best,
Exactly.
but
Let me
I
let
I
me
think
tell
just
you something.
it's just people, Sha. Some people are actually
I just
terrible.
Let me tell you
I
something
have to
that
And
leave it. I have to
let me
just
tell you something
like I'm like
I told the
nothing looks
mentee.
good, Okay.
Let me just tell the mentee recently. So she reached out on ADP. She found me on ADP, and I'm on ADP too for just casual mentorship and the likes. But she reached out because she wanted something more long term, and she wanted. So I told her, see, I'm not going to do this mentor mentee thing with you. I rather would do a relation, like let's actually have a relationship. So I'm going to be here when you need me. There is no structure to what I'm going to do with you, but I'm just going to be available when you need me. And ADP is going to be our medium in which we communicate. So we had a conversation. I got to learn about her. She got to learn about me. We had conversations, small conversation. And right now, one of the things that I'm working on with her and helping her do is that I'm trying to help her build her confidence. Typically, what we're talking about. And one of the ways I'm going about it
Wow.
is that
Wow.
she showed me her designs or what she's been doing, practicing and everything. I looked at them and I'm like, nope, this is not it. You can't. What you say you're going to with this? No, it's not going to go take you anywhere. And I said, you know
Oh
what?
my god, this was what I got.
So hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. And I told her that see what you're asking for, and I told her that see, mentor this relationship you're trying to ask for is going to come with a lot of harsh truths. I have to be willing to and
Hmm,
ready to hear them. So
okay.
when I told her that, I said the solution to this is that number one, we're going to start practicing what good work actually is. Now, the way the brain works is that the brain cannot give you information you have not given it before. So, like, you
Okay.
can't, if I ask you a question that you have zero idea about, you cannot give me an answer. It's impossible.
Sure.
So, you cannot come up with a design that you have not studied or seen or learned about before. It is impossible. Let's be very honest. Every great work comes from another source. So we're just a long line of inspirations from each other. So that idea of creating something uniquely out of nothing, I'm sorry, that's only God's work. We can just imitate from something else. That's just we can only imitate from something else. So the best way is to first of all start imitating from other people. And that's what she's doing. The first time she did it, I was shocked at what I was looking at. I'm like, did you do this? Are you sure? I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is very good stuff. Did you actually create this? And she's like, yeah, she did. I looked at it and looked at what she, the reference. I'm like, yeah, you can see now that you can actually do good stuff, but you've just not been giving your mind enough information to draw this good work from. And yeah, that's where she's pretty much at now. And hopefully that should be like a very small boost of inspiration for her and so that she can possibly boost her confidence.
Sure.
So
that's
yeah.
awesome. The saying where people say when you hear people saying you need to think outside the box as a designer. That
Exactly. As a, you get it. And
think
I'm
outside
just
the
starting
box.
out. I'm just starting out. They want me to think outside the box to create logos. Like, yeah, I don't even know. And I ended up
I just
creating paracetamol. They should appreciate me, right? I
that's
didn't even
you
know I
thinking
came
outside
up
the box.
designing.
You spoiled the box. You
You
ruined
I
spoiled
didn't even
it.
know. I didn't even know I came up with that paracetamol idea. I'm like, after designing, I'm like, no, 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 this is too bad. But then I needed some levels of encouragement from the person that told me to think outside the box. But then it was like, what? No, 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 no. Are you sure you're ready to go into design? I have to rethink. Oh,
You
I think
collected
I'm
the
not
box
sure.
and sent it away.
I
Oh
think
my
I'm
gosh.
not sure. It's
Well,
it's
that's really
good
nice.
when yeah, it's really nice. I like the idea that there was a second follow up on your path too, because
Mhm.
that first one would have just made the person feel. Are you? Oh, but this will lead me. Sorry, Ayo. Sorry, I'm taking. I'll need to take this
It's
question.
fine.
This leads me to a particular question here. Um, is it possible, or are there scenarios or circumstances around cases whereby this person wants to be a designer, right? and you just know, Gaga, like you just know design is not your calling. Are there situations like that, or everybody can just be a designer?
This one, I didn't want to think about it. And I know my quick response might be shocking, but yes, actually, yes. Truthfully, 100% yes. It's a
Yes,
Yes,
what?
so as in yes, so
I say
it's
yes,
a
yes, yes. Just what?
it's a yes, and not everybody can. So everybody can do it, but not everybody can truly do it. And what do I mean?
Mm.
Everybody can learn design, but not everybody will be able to take it as a career path. Like, there's a lot of back and forth, and I know they sold us a lot of, and I'm saying us because me included, a lot of, all that glitters is gold, but like all that glitters is not gold. all,
Yeah,
all
because
that
I get
glitters is
this
not
thing
gold.
of everybody can be a designer. If you just put your mind into it, you can be a designer. But it's still looking like you just can't. Like I don't know. It's just like
Think
you,
it's
or maybe like what I perceive, right, would just be if this person is in another tech field, the person would shine.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it, but
No, no, no,
is it
you're very
like
right.
okay?
It's possible. You're right, and it's possible, and it's true. And it all just boils down to understanding why you're actually really doing this. And
Mm,
again, this goes in. I like talking about these things, and I like answering them from a point of not just design or tech, because it
okay.
spans into other areas of our lives.
Life,
Because
true,
yes,
true.
it spans into other areas of our lives. It goes into understanding why you're really doing this. Are you really doing it because of the trend? Are you doing it because your friends are doing it? Are you doing it
mm-hmm.
because there's nothing else to do, so you're bored and you want to do, like, why? And be true to your why. It could be because you're bored, and that's fine. Like, do it to the point you're no longer bored, and then you can move on. And that don't hold yourself. Don't feel bad about it. If it is
Yeah.
that, oh, you actually want to do this as a career path, then hold on to it. But also understand, like, why am I really doing it? Like, is this actually something I can do? So you just need to understand all these things. I've had situations where I've had somebody who went through three different phases before they found out that, okay, yes, this is actually where they are better in. And sometimes it's fine to try a couple. Like, you could do design. Before I even did design, I just realized I was doing front end. Um, I was
Wow.
doing
So you
front
left
end.
content for
I,
design.
s- I got I got stuck. I got stuck. So
Oh,
I
oh,
got
see
stuck.
my brother, see my brother. You left,
I got stuck.
you left fronted. I went there. I gave me. It looks like we exchanged.
See
I
what
gave
I
you
got
a
stuck.
design.
he what he said. He
I
said he
got
got
I got stuck. See, I got stuck. But then in my head, I felt like it wasn't for me. That was why I got it wrong. So, like,
True,
I
exact.
got stuck,
Okay,
but that didn't necessarily mean it wasn't for me. If I had got help, if I
pushed.
had known how to get help, I would have pushed, and I would have probably been doing something different right now. But I got stuck,
Hmm.
and I was looking for something else, and then I saw design. It was kind of like the next best thing that I could jump on
To
at
go
that time. I
into.
jumped on it, and then I was able to scale through without necessarily a lot of external help. And even when I needed external help, there was, like, things from social media that I could get resources from. So I was able to, like, now leverage and all that. Now I'm going back to front end. Yeah, I'm going back to, like, trying to learn how to, the whole front end, trying to learn.
I'm not going
Um,
back to design, sure.
no, 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 it's
wow.
fine.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You can stay
I
exactly where
won't.
you
I won't. I won't. You don't need to tell me. I won't. I won't
are.
go. I'm not ready.
I'm already preparing myself to get all the
Not
help
even
that I
ready to
need. You get.
receive.
I'm already getting ready to get all the, because I know I'm going to get stuck at that same place again. But now I'll be able to push, because I know
They're
that,
doing it differently.
yes, I'm doing differently. There are people that can ask for help, take away my pride and whatever. And I need help, which is an
Well,
important thing.
basically, right. On my
Mhm.
case, I don't think that I kind of really wanted design. Let me put it that way. I
Oh,
actually I was like learning with an institution that they started with design.
okay.
So you just have to start with the graphics, all of the draw your is it ID cards, this and that, cut papers here and there. So I just had to. And I'm like,
And you got about master.
this graphics thing is it's not for me. Did banner, did poster, and I'm like, I'm tired. Can we move? And
At
they're
this
like,
at this point,
design first.
you're a more better designer than I am right now.
I'm not
Poster.
any. No, no, no. I'm not. Like,
I
I
need
was
to give you
looking
the
for so
accolade.
many. No, don't give me. Oh, hey, I was really tired. At some point, I was just like, I think I really do not enjoy it. Maybe that was one thing that just threw me off.
That's
I
also
really,
very
because
valid.
if it was a passion for
You know,
me, I'm certain I wouldn't be expecting
I
feedback before I can push.
I
Right.
don't know if
Okay,
you're
go
thinking
ahead.
about the same thing I was thinking. I don't know if you're thinking the exact thing I was thinking when you were talking about she not enjoying design. In my head, I'm like, so you're trying to tell me you do not enjoy like the whole artistry of design, but you enjoy the very logical parts of things where you have to press
Yeah,
code and
code.
find
Yeah,
bugs.
exactly. I'm serious. I
So
never enjoyed.
you just see
I
how
don't know.
I mean, it's a very beautiful thing. Like it just goes to show how interesting we are as humans, where
True.
something because design in itself is there's how to put it, for a creative person, they get what I'm trying to say before I'm saying it's like it's a whole creative thing. There's art, there's a blend of trying to like really create some.
Exactly. Create
Yeah,
something like crazy.
exactly. Exactly. And then there's somebody who will say, I don't enjoy this. And we will look at you and be like, this is weird of you to say, but it's actually valid and okay for you to say because you truly don't. You truly
I
enjoy
don't
the
though. I
really
don't.
logical thinking, the really finding bugs and the bugging and all those things and And me, when I picked up, I enjoyed it actually, but I just got stuck and I felt like okay, this was too hard for me. I don't think I could do it anymore. And that was it. But now I'm doing it because it's actually necessary. Whether or not I find fun in it, I'll find fun in it by force later. But now it's just necessary for me to get to know it and understand it very
To
well.
do
But yeah,
it.
that's pretty beautiful that we all think differently, even as much as we think that we are all alike.
Okay, so in that case, when a designer that's just starting out, there might be cases whereby you're not having like a clarity call on which tech field you should go into, and you just find yourself into designs just like when I started, right? And then it's not really something enjoyable. What do you think the designer should do in this case? Should they
Oh,
stop it? Should they push? Should they reach out to somebody? Like, they don't enjoy it anymore.
mm,
Should people design or go into design because of passion, basically, or you can do it? I don't know how to put it because a lot of persons most times just like, let me just design. Or there is this,
mhm.
I don't like it though, but I'm just doing it.
I get you. I
As a
100%
beginner,
get
you're
you.
just starting. Yeah, you're just starting.
Yeah.
Do you think
So
they should keep up with that or they should just
let me see. Let me think about the best way to answer this. Okay. So there's a lot of factors here to consider, and there's a lot of intentionality you have to do. You
okay?
have to first of all understand that you're about to have a honest conversation with yourself, and
Okay.
the room for feeling bad about whatever you decide to should not be there. Now, what that means is that you want to first of all evaluate. So, should you go into design for passion? No. Me personally, no. Like, should you go into anything for passion? No, not necessarily. Sometimes you find passion when you start or when you are into it. Sometimes passion does
Hmm.
not drive you into it. So sometimes that's how it happens. But if you notice that you are struggling or you're doing it but you're not enjoying it, so that's one way you want to evaluate. If it's a what should I do? You've not done anything, what should I do? Should I go for passion? My suggestion is no. Again, suggestion.
Okay.
Suggestion. Yes, do not go for passion.
Yeah,
If there's
suggestion.
no passion in any, if there's no anything, if there's no passion in anything, don't look for the one you're passionate about and then go into it and then feel like, oh, you have to be here head on. No, try. If there's no passion for anything, try a lot of the things that you can try that you feel like you can most likely fit in. Try them, Before you even try them, you can try to find people who are in these spaces. I always like recommending ADP because like there are people in every field there, and you can always have a conversation with them and ask them questions.
Okay.
Try to understand what is like doing what they're doing. How did they get there? You know, are they enjoying it? What makes them enjoy? Try to really understand the different things. Think of it as
Okay.
having an entire interview session with this different set of people, different fields, and find the ones that you, when they were talking or their answers kind of resonate with you, or you feel like you could, survive here or relate, and try that one, or try, it could be just, again, it doesn't have to be one. Let's also remember that your choices, how do I put it? So decision and choices are two different things. The choices, decisions and choices, yeah. Choices are like, you want to choose to do this, you want to try to do this, you want to try to do this. Decision is like, this is the one for me. So the first off, you should just focus on choices. Make choices on picking the things that you want to try out. Try them out. Then evaluate. You will know, evaluate. Okay, which one do I really like? It's kind of like picking an outfit to wear to go out for dinner with friends or something. You have like a couple of options. You will not try to weigh them. Is it going to be cold there? Would there be sun? Do I want to feel free, or do I want to show off maybe a little bit of my shoes or my accessories? Depending on the ones you've tried, and then you've known, okay, I've tried this one for like maybe a month, and realize which one am I really getting a hang on. You feel closer to it. It could be, you can narrow it down from maybe 4 to 3 to 2, and then you now know the one. Again, this process could take like an entire 6 months to get there. It's fine, especially if you're in the very beginner phase. But sorry, yes, sorry. But if you are in the space where you have a passion for something, but you're doing it, but you're not feeling it anymore, the question is, what are you feeling now? Is
Hmm.
it related to what you're doing, or is it totally different? And also understand, what is my current situation? Am I in a place where I have the liberty to change without any consequences? Or are there certain consequences if I make drastic change? So this can also affect. For me, when I started front end, I didn't have any drastic consequence to change to design or drop it. So I dropped it, and I was looking for something else, and I then found design. If at that time I was in a situation where I needed to fend for myself, or needed to actually find a career skill or whatever,
Have to
I will most
eat.
likely push past that point where I was
He
stuck
has
in
to
front end.
eat.
I will, yes, like you have to eat, and like that's where you're in. You would
I was
have
like,
to
we say
push past it.
you have children that you
You
have
get
taken care of at the same time, you know.
you get okay. You have fees to pay. Like situation like that, like it happens. What I would do in that situation is I would push on, but I'll also be looking for my alternative to move to when things are better for me to move. So I would
Hmm.
continue on that route, but at the same time, I'm trying to look for what is the next best thing that I can do or is better for
Do.
me. Now, once I find that, I would now split my attention span 80% here, 20% here, until it gets to the point where, okay, I think I can be fine to do 6 months without doing this, maybe job or tax or part anymore, and focus my attention here. And there's like a plan, like you just have to be, you have to plan. Especially if finances are involved, you have to feed, you have to take care of something. If you're in that category, you have to really, really plan to know how to make your transition better and smoother, so you don't get stuck and you don't have regrets and the like. So that's just like my own 2 cents. There's a lot of planning involved, and I also really recommend talk to a friend or talk to somebody that can help you think through this, because sometimes having like a second person perspective is good to help you realize this too as well. It could be anybody, to be honest, as long as you trust the person enough to know that they are going to think about you for the good. Then yes, please speak to them, ask, and figure out how you can get help, which is something that I learned later on in my career. Asking for help is very, very important, and you need to do it often. There's no shame in
Hmm.
asking for help.
There's no shame in asking questions. Beginners, you just heard that word. There
There's
is
no
no
shame.
shame.
There's
Thank you so
literally no
much,
shame.
Gaga. Ayor. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yes,
now.
we're rounding up
Yes.
now because it's almost time to
Okay.
end
Um,
the podcast.
I've actually learned I've learned a lot already from Gaga, sharing his
Gaga, the
experience.
designer.
I've been
Why is Nkechi hyping me up? I
and
feel like
we
this is set
mentioned
up.
this on our Instagram live because we
Yes,
actually
we
asked
did. Yeah, we had Instagram live,
I
Instagram
even
and
live.
we're
know
like,
advise you.
Gaga. No, no,
We are
no.
like, Gaga
We
is going
can't
to
hype
make
you
everyone
here.
go Gaga. you know,
Exactly.
you are going to scatter every table. You are going to shatter
We
every
can't
table.
wait.
You are going
We
to
can't wait to share the
make
Spotify
everything.
links for them.
Yes,
I want to put what's the word? It's not in shout out. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But I want to put something. I want to throw something. I want to throw something out there. Is a two-way thing. So it's not. It's a challenge. I don't know. It depends on how you take it. So anybody who is listening and then feel like okay, yes, you want to have more conversations or have more interest or what's not. I strongly would suggest, not suggest, but challenge to go past that sending DM and actually send a DM to actually have a physical meetup, like a coffee chat. Yeah, especially
Oh
mm,
if you are listening.
wow.
Yeah,
With Gaga. With Gaga.
yes, actually, yeah, with
Okay.
me. So like I really I know, yeah. So yeah, I challenge any person listening who has interest into wanting to have a chat or maybe want a form of relationship or what's not. Like, it depends on whatever. Like to be very honest, I challenge to not just send a DM and just say hi, whatever, whatever. Like actually find a place and suggest to meet up over coffee chat. It's something that we should actually start doing often because meeting in
Hmm.
person is it connects a lot stronger over just meeting. Or funny thing is that again, it doesn't have to be anything serious. It could be meeting at a place for coffee and just work in the same space. A lot of times working in the same or co-working together or working in the same space allows for room for a lot of conversation. I could be working on something and you could ask the question, oh, this stuff you're working on, what's it about? I'll talk about it. I could see your stuff you don't know. Oh, I like what you did or how you're doing this or what's not. Oh, walk me through this. We've actually exchanged very vital information that on a normal day would not happen. You get. So it's a natural challenge. So anybody listening and feel I don't need to take up that challenge, I feel like you know where to find me. Yeah. And I'll let you know
We'll share. We'll
anybody who
definitely share. We'll definitely share links so they will know where to find you.
okay.
We have
Okay.
all your details.
That's fine. I like coffee spots. I like coffee a lot too. So
so
yes,
you'll
I
be
very
think
true.
taking it up.
Cafe One is also a brand that supports Tech with Hero. So I
Yes.
would definitely suggest Cafe One to them because they support
Okay.
us. We have our physical space there at
So
their location.
you guys already have a spot. So everything is laid out easy
Yeah,
for
a
you.
coffee spot.
So yes, left for you to be bold and send idea.
No problem. Aya, you can go ahead.
All right. So I just know that you are sending the DM. We are the bridge, that connects you to Gaga. So send our
Ayo,
10% discounts.
Ayo, don't do this.
I is a
I'm
businessman. I
not
is a
putting our 10%
businessman.
to us
He's
because
getting his
it's
commission.
not easy now.
I
I
is a
have to get our
businessman.
information now. No. So for
Ayo, just so
design,
you want a coffee too. Okay, go ahead.
I don't mind if I can get three. All right. So for designers, yeah. Me as a graphic designer, sometimes you go on Instagram, you see crazy stuff, crazy trends, you see people doing different things that were not the usual. Then I think now you could see people doing designs and you can have like five faces of an individual on the design, probably a birthday design and all, a lot of trends like that and like that. So how the question here is now that in this design field where we have trends and styles can dominate, how can beginners stay true to their unique design voice? How can you stay true to your own unique design voice?
And again, is it cool for designers that beginners to just be doing all of the trends, all of the. Is it a thing? I think I should just add that because that's like the last question.
That last question is very tempting, but okay. I'll start with Ayo's question first. So yes, how do you? If I got your question correctly, you're asking how do you, as beginners, how do we
Stay
stay
true to
true
our
to our
voice,
own voice and the likes and the
despite
likes?
the trends and all design trends and all.
Let me think about it. First off, I would say stick to the basics. So I'm a product designer. I feel like it also goes with the way to graphics. The basics work whichever time frame that you're coming from, whether you're coming from the past, present, or future. The basics always work. Stick
I
to
was
the
almost looking
basics.
for thumbs up. Thumbs up emoji.
Stick to the basics, and also
Uh,
look out for
Let me give you
tools.
this.
Yeah. Look out for tools. Look out for tools that can help you. Now we're in a point where there's AI.
Mm.
Don't get scared about AI or feel like AI will take your job. The jobs AI would take is actually people who do not know how to use AI. So it is find tools that help you do your workflow faster. That's what I would say. Any tool that can help you do your workflow faster, whether it's AI related or not AI related, try to learn how to use it. Or sometimes just Google curious thoughts. What tools can help me make my graphic design process faster or what's not? And find how to use them or make them into your workflow. Sometimes it just help you give you more ideas. Design is how do I put it? So the more ideas you feed your mind with, the better designer you would be. The more visual, stunning, the more highly incredible, high quality work that you feed your eyes with is all exposure. The more you expose yourself into really good stuff, good tools, fast workflows, that's what you should be circling yourself around. How do I make my workflow faster? Um, how do I find quality work that are very high level industry standard? And how do I find tools? I think I mentioned how do I find tools that make my work faster. One time you circle around these things and also sticking to the basics, the very genesis the basics. Once you stick around these four things, you could develop your own style of things. You may not develop your own style of things. For me, I do not necessarily have a unique style of things. I'm more versatile, and that's fine. You could be a versatile person. You could have a particular voice or style of thing of doing it. You can develop your own. It's fine, but all of this does not happen overnight. All of this does not happen in 1 year. It does not happen in 2 years. So let's take away that idea of quick success. 1 year, 2 years, I should be a baller in design. I'm sorry, it doesn't necessarily happen like that. Just stick true to basics. Find tools that help you do the things better. Listen to other people how they do their work and their processes. Find more podcasts like this that you can listen to how people talk about their experiences, their workflows, their processes, and try to see which one you can try out and explore and the likes. So just circle around this. Forget the noise. And when it comes to trends, yes, Nkechi, um, I'm tempted to be like give a very straight answer, but I'll just go on straight. When it comes to trends, I will not necessarily recommend jumping on it. If you're jumping on it, jump on it for fun. Yeah, if you're going for fun, yeah, jump on it. But if you're going on it for you think that would be like I don't know, maybe make people think you do your work better. No, not necessarily. Um Design is more than just what you do, especially if you're, doing it for work and as a career. There's a lot of other things involved. So if you think it's just doing that flying thing and that giz that's going to really take you there, that's not enough. It's good, but it's not enough. So if you want to learn it just for you can jump on the trend for fun. If you want to learn the trendy stuff, learn it just because you want to know how to do it. But a lot of times, personally, product design, I'm doing a lot of the fancy stuff you see. Not all the time I'm opportune to do those things in an actual real life, real world project. A lot of times it's just my own personal stuff and I'm just really, really getting all jazzed up and I'm interested in doing all those things. That's cool. So just understand that there are levels to this and there are also certain situations that can allow you to do these things. But the one that will never, never go away is the basics.
Yeah, yeah. I like the fact that you mentioned those how you do implement some magic to your personal work and not your client's work. because sometimes some designers don't understand that. Um, that's why they're always having fights with the clients. You are supposed to, you're not supposed to be designing. I don't know, some designers are always designing for the client, having an impression that they want to like impress another designer, forgetting the
Yeah,
fact that they
yeah.
want to
Yeah, no, that,
achieve
that's not
integrally.
what you're designing for. That's not what you're designing for. Like your that use case is totally different. Like totally,
Yeah,
totally different. So
yeah.
yes. And I think
So
one thing I
it's
want to mention to beginners, kind of like my own general idea, is something that also helped me is learning soft skills. Learning soft skills, yeah. Start as much as you try to read up on things or try to learn, also find how to learn soft skills. You learn soft skills most likely by listening to other people talk about their soft skills and then trying it in your own workflow and your own process as well. Because soft skills make or break your career, especially if you're doing design as a career. That's just something I want to put out there.
wow, awesome, awesome. I think with this, how they do say whenever a debate is being won, just with this important point of mine, you have been able to
As in,
convince.
I've hoped and not
I
to
hope, I hope,
confuse
I hope I'm
you.
not being able to convince you and confuse you that.
So you just give us a lot of valid
Yeah.
points to
Thank
convince
you so
anybody
much.
of the
Like
post.
really, yeah.
I hope I was
But
able to
before
live
we
up to
end
the
it,
hype.
do you have any kind of advice you want to share out with designers that just starting really?
Yes.
Anything you would like to share? Okay.
Yeah, there's always something I always go by, and I'm also saying it again to remind myself, is that growth is not linear. It's not a straight line. It's not straight.
Hmm.
Growth is not
Hmm.
also
That
growth,
word, that would be like
growth
growth
is
is not
also
linear.
is not linear. Growth is also not another person's line or lane. Your lane is yours, someone else's lane is theirs. So you may look like they are above you or more than you, but no. So someone is only in front of you when they're in your lane. But if they're not in your lane, they're in their own lane. So whichever part you are in your lane is your lane. Just
Mm.
go along with it. You can be inspired by other people's lane and how far they've gone, but it should only make you see that I can also get to that point that they are in. So it's only a matter of time. So again, it goes back to my growth is non-linear. It's most likely very wavy. There are ups and downs. Um, I'm here talking now, and it feels like I'm way up there. I promise you, I'm looking towards higher. And in my head, I'm a beginner. I'm a beginner just like everybody. But my own beginner level is a different level of beginner.
Mm.
That's just the way it is. So yes, understand that it's never
Yeah,
linear.
beginner pro max.
You get exactly.
Oh
Beginner
my
from
god. Oh my god.
by the time I'm learning front end now, I'm beginner XX marks like this. So yes, we're all doing this. So yes, your growth is not linear. You are not on the same race with any other person. Focus on your own part and ask for help when you need it. That's all I can say.
Nice. I think that will actually help a lot of designers to stop competing with those that are supposed to be learning from. You know.
Yes,
Hmm.
and people are supposed to be
Hmm.
collaborating with, I don't know, collaborate, please, big deal. Collaborate as much as you can. Find friends that you can do stuff together. Find a dev, for example, if you're a graphic designer, find a UI designer that you can collaborate together and do a project together. Find a UI designer, find a dev that you can do work together and collaborate together. If you're a brand designer, find an animator that you can, or motion designer or motion graphic designer that you can collaborate together and do work together. And just build this network of relationships and friendships within these different aspects. And truthfully, that might be how you get your next gig. A motion designer might be working with a
True.
client that needs a UI designer. I'm like, oh, I know somebody.
Something.
I have a friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And because the client
You're
trusts the
right.
motion designer, they will trust you too. Okay, 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 bring the person. The dev
Yeah.
person might, oh, this your work. I like this work. I'm like, yes, I developed it. My friend was the person who did the UI. Oh, really? Can your friend do my UI? Yes. That's just how it happens. Like networking is just
True.
very important.
You're right. You're
And
right.
you could start with your peers. It's very, very fine.
Fantastic, fantastic. Awesome words, awesome words. Even on our YouTube live, we could see some comment already. So one is saying that that's true, giving your mind the right picture image of what you want to achieve. Yeah, awesome. That's from Bolu then. somebody is dropping some fire emoji. So awesome words. Thank you so much,
Thank
Gaga.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you so much.
Arigato.
Nkechi. Did I just hear so much? Oh, you said what?
I said arigato.
Arigato. Is that an anime thing? Since
Anime.
those was okay, okay.
Yay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you
So
say
we'll be
yeah, I'll say
taking.
that because I'm a Nollywood fan.
I don't understand you. I don't understand you. This is an international podcast. Ayo.
Ah, you want us to start saying Nollywood lives matters?
Okay. Gaga, don't mind us. This is how we just like kind of make it foreign, really.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
thank you so much, Gaga, for this. And we'll be putting up on Spotify and sharing it out. So also, but thank you so much for like explaining, dicing this designing with confidence for
Yeah,
beginners in a way that even the beginners can really understand that they are looking up to Gaga, right? But Gaga has also gone through these phases too and was able to build his confidence level. That's why he has gotten to where he is at the moment, right? So thank
true.
you so much for sharing your experience and all of that to
Those
giving these
timeless
insights to
words. Yeah.
them. Yeah. And we would not forget this actual word. I wrote it down. Growth is not
My heart.
linear.
I wrote it down in
Yeah.
my heart.
Thank you so much. So we're taking Gaga down now. Bye, Gaga.
Bye.
Thank you, Gaga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Ayo.
I was
So
already saying
everyone,
yeah.
so everyone, yes, that's actually the end of today's episode. Watch out for our Spotify update because we're posting it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Radiocast, and every other um, podcast platform you can think of. Really,
Yeah.
Amazon. Yes, we're also on Amazon. And we'll also, the YouTube Live is already going to be there by default. We'll also be sharing some insights on uh, social media platforms. So please do well to follow us on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram at
Instagram.
Tech with Hero.
Tech
And
with
please,
Hero.
the only reward we have is to share our platform to techies so they can subscribe and follow us. That's the only reward
Mm-hmm.
we have. So please do not deprive us of this of this reward.
Yes, so
Share to your friends and families, people that are in tech, tell them about Tech with Hero. It's a podcast platform where you learn from people. Just now, we've also gotten some information from Gaga, which would boost the confidence level of designers, and also a platform whereby you have easy access to meet mentors, right? Meet experts because it's a way you can easily just connect with them and
our
go straight to
friends.
their DM. That's how
Yeah.
it just started. You could just go straight to their DM like this now. Hi Gaga, thank you for sharing some information on Tech with Heroes podcast, designing with confidence for beginners. You actually boosted my confidence level in. And then, are you up for a coffee chat and stuff like that? So these are platforms where you can easily connect with um, mentors or experts in the field, really. So that's it for me. Please share with friends and families, and we'll also be putting the links up for on every platform for you to also have access to them. So anything from your end before we end?
Yeah, nothing much. Just that they should not forget the bridge that is connecting them to their mentor. So it's always what I don't forget.
Yeah,
So, one of the reward, like you said, is when you share, when you talk to people about Tech with Hero, when you talk to friends about Tech with Hero. We want you to also you can send us your testimonials, you can send us feedbacks, things you feel probably you were able to implement and it worked. You can send it to us. We also like to read about them and even share those good news with the mentors, those people that we've had on the show. Let them also, be motivated that they were able to motivate someone out there listening to this podcast. So that is how it is. That's how we roll here at Tech with Hero. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll always end it with a music and a bye from us.
So ready to get ready to dance.
Thank you, everyone, and bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.